Please welcome to the stage, Board Chairman of Easterseals, D.C., Maryland, Virginia, Marta Wilson.
Good evening, everyone. What a magnificent sight. Oh my. So many of you gathered in this stunning theater, all here for the same reason. A deep and abiding belief that every person in every community deserves the chance to overcome barriers on the road to well-being. I'm Marta Wilson, chair of this evening's event, and on behalf of the entire Easterseals team, it's my honor to welcome you to the 2026 Advocacy Awards. I know many of you have been to the Advocacy Awards before. As you've noticed, we're doing things a little differently this year. I'll be honest, there were some lively discussions among the planning committee, but we concluded that the most powerful moments at events like this are not the ones where people sit quietly and stare at the back of someone's head. They're the moments in between, the conversations at the bar, the introduction in the corner, that chance encounter that turns into a partnership. Tonight, we want to create more of those moments to support and grow our Easterseals community, because this organization is all about community. Easterseals has served this community for nearly a century, helping the child in Washington, D.C. receive early education services that will shape the trajectory of her life. The veteran in Northern Virginia who came home with invisible wounds and found in Easterseals a place that helped him find his footing again. And the adult with a disability in Baltimore who is staying engaged in the community rather than sitting in a nursing home. Easterseals is a vital thread in the fabric of this region. Our work spans early childhood education, mental health care, employment support, and caregiver services. And in a region as complex as the DMV, that work is essential. The people Easterseals serves need champions like all of us who show up and fight for them to live their best lives. None of this happens without partners who believe in what we do. I want to take a moment to extend our deepest gratitude to Easterseals veteran and military families champion, Fenway Summer. Their leadership not only supports tonight's event, but also provides critical funding for Easterseals' life-changing veteran and military family programs all year around. Let's give them a hand. We also express our appreciation to our inspiration sponsors, Bank of America and QED Investors, both of which have been long-time contributors to Easterseals programs and success. Now I'd like to speak frankly for a moment about why your financial support matters. The services we provide through the therapists, case managers, job coaches, teachers, nurses, and so much more. They exist because people like you choose to invest in them. Every dollar raised tonight goes directly to programs that change lives. There will be opportunities to give tonight, and I encourage you to give generously. I also encourage you to think beyond tonight, to consider how you, your company, your foundation, or your network might become a substantial partner in this work. Because the need doesn't end when this event ends, and neither does our commitment. We have a beautiful evening ahead. You'll see stories of two people who faced barriers that most of us will never know, and who are thriving with Easterseals support. You will meet our award recipients who embody the very best of what it means to fight for a more just and inclusive world. So please enjoy this evening. Take time to connect with others. Let tonight remind you that you're surrounded by people who share your values and your vision. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your generosity. And thank you for believing in the mission of Easterseals.
Please welcome President and CEO of Easterseals, D.C., Maryland, Virginia, John Horowitch.
Good evening, everybody. Seeing all of you tonight, I'm reminded of something I never take for granted. None of what we do is possible without you. So thank you for making the time in your busy day. Thank you for opening your hearts, your minds, and your wallets so that we at Easterseals can include individuals, empower families, and strengthen communities every day. While we have a wonderful evening here tonight and a lot of glitziness going on, I also really hope you're going to take the time to learn more about our services by visiting the various stations around the lobby. Take a moment to experience Dementia Live and understand what it's like for an adult with dementia or low vision and how our adult day services make a huge difference. Learn how children learn through play in our child development and Head Start programs. Understand that lifelong impact that creates. Learn stress reduction techniques. I'm sure some of you might be a little stressed out at the Cohen Clinic station. And take the time to understand the challenges in veterans employment and how you can support. These are just examples of the vital services Easterseals delivers every day, and I hope you'll have the opportunity to experience just how important they are. Now, I'm not going to let the moment go by without properly recognizing some very important people. First, I want to take a minute and just really acknowledge our staff. Many of them are here tonight to celebrate, and all of you are here to celebrate the impact of Easterseals services, and that can't happen without the incredible staff. So please join me in thanking them. Also, I really want to acknowledge the event committee tonight. You've seen it's an awesome event, and especially I want to thank our chair, Marta Wilson, and co-vice chairs, Raj Date and Amaya Scarity. They have led a committee who have spent months behind the scenes engaging their networks, poring over the details, and really engaging their networks, and they did it all with great grace and humor, making sure this evening is worthy of the mission it represents and of Easterseals. And the funds raised tonight are critical for all of the families that we serve. So please thank the committee. I guess we're not seeing the committee. I thought we were gonna. And I also really want to thank our board of directors. These leaders take constant time out of their busy schedule to help advise the organization, help us do better, and they're among the most accomplished and dedicated professionals that I've ever had the privilege of working with through many, many careers. And they give of their time because they genuinely believe in what Easterseals is doing, and they help us do better. So thanks to the board and Emeritus Board. And then I really also want to recognize our Ambassador Committee and Honorary Board. These leaders are out in the community and helping make sure that people who need our services are aware of our services. And also, they play a critical role in making sure that people who might feel a stigma in seeking services recognize that not only is it good to access services, but it's going to make them a better soldier, sailor, airman, Marine, guardian, guardsman, because of being healthy and having a healthy family. And so they also are a key part of living our core value of innovation by helping share the emerging needs that they see through all of their connections in the community. So please join me in thanking the Ambassador Committee and the Honorary Board. And it's really the dedication of people like these that brings me to one of my favorite parts of the evening. When I think about what a true community advocate looks like, it's someone who embodies the spirit of showing up, of giving generously, and lifting others without expectation of return. Those are people we are honoring here tonight. We'll present several awards recognizing individuals and organizations whose contributions to Easterseals and to the community are incredibly valuable. And we begin with an award that is very close to our hearts. The Judy Heumann Community Advocate Award is named for a woman who really needs no introduction. She's a giant, was a giant of the disability rights movement, a fighter, a friend, and a member of the Easterseals Honorary Board, and truly a force of nature whose legacy continues to inspire everything that we do at Easterseals. And this year, it's my profound joy and honor to present the Judy Heumann Community Advocate Award to Miles and Mary Beth Reidy.
Miles and Mary Beth are committed in everything they do, and Easterseals is no different. They are absolute supporters of what this organization does, and they live and breathe their lives consistent with its values.
Early education is one of the core missions of the Easterseals. Giving children the opportunity to be the most they can be is really important. One of the great privileges of being able to help the Easterseals is it's an organization that is focused on doing that.
My son is coming here 7 months. So he's changed a lot since he started. He's speaking so much better and he's behaving so much better. I can see a lot of difference since he started here.
The books on the shelves, the toys on the floor, and ultimately just the number of students that Easterseals is able to help. Miles and Mary Beth's contributions have been so essential to the expansion and the service and just the number of children who are able to come and find joy and happiness in these centers every day.
Not only the access to the early learning experience, but I think it's also important that it's allowing the family to have the opportunity to do other things, meaning go to work, get the groceries, but the dollar is shrinking for these programs, and they're very important to support every child.
The center is important to our lives because I can work more. I can do a lot of things around the house and finish it quickly and pick up my child and have more time with him. If center is not here, I don't know where Albert will go.
There's no question that Easterseals is life-changing for the people that it serves. Easterseals helps people who don't have other options. There are not other daycares that will handle the children with severe disabilities. There are not other services that can provide adults with severe disabilities full-time care during the day. These are not services that are widely available, and Easterseals bridges that gap.
I think the need for these services is growing with an aging population, diminishing public resources, and it's very hard for people to figure out the resources they need to get. It's very hard for caregivers to get the support they need. And so anything we can do to help that, I can't think of a better marginal return on a dollar than a dollar that I give to the Easterseals.
This financial support is really important for me. We wouldn't be here without Rita's support, and we are so thankful for them.
Miles and Mary Beth inspire everyone around them, and they fiercely believe that no matter how challenging today or this moment is, you can always make it through. And I think that kind of inspirational leadership is exactly why the Reedys are such deserving recipients of this award.
It is a special honor, and we hope that we are speaking now encourages other people to support the organization. It's up to individuals to support an organization like Easterseals to help the people that most need it.
I just want to thank everybody for coming out tonight. For those of you who know how much I really hate the limelight, you know how much I'm squirming during this conversation, and I hope you're enjoying that. And I expect to see much bigger donations because of that.
Presenting the Judy Heumann Community Advocate Award is Managing Partner of Fenway Summer and Advocacy Awards Co-Vice Chair, Raj Date.
Joined the Navy in 1989. I went to boot camp in California, San Diego, and then I got stationed in Willow Grove, Pennsylvania. I was in during Desert Storm, and we were on 16-hour days, 6 days a week. I served for 8 years, and I had a good time, and I was proud to serve my country and come back to civilian life. So I was self-employed, and the company that I worked for went bankrupt. So they went out of business, which in turn, I ended up closing my business. It was very shocking, and it was stressful. So I have 5 children. I have 2 grandchildren, and I was worried how I was going to support them because I'm the provider for all of them, as well as my 82-year-old mother that lives with us. It's a lot of responsibility. Like, you have to be consciously thinking every minute of the day how you're going to provide for them. And when my customer closed their business, I was lost. I had no idea what to do next because I had worked for them for 20 years. My wife got sick in 2022, and she went in the hospital. She had some problems, but they let her go, and they told her there was nothing wrong. In 2023, she had stage 4 cancer. The turmoil that was caused from my wife being sick and having my elderly mother with us, I was running like a chicken with my head cut off. I didn't know which way to go. Every day I was running somewhere to take one of them to the doctors or to chemo or to some treatment or a doctor's appointment in general. My wife kept telling me to keep my head up. Being a provider, I have to worry about her. There's no not worrying, or there's no break from being a provider. You know, I've been providing my whole life. And when my wife got sick, I'm a mechanic, and all my life, all I do is fix things. I couldn't fix her, which really hurt. I was telling the doctors the whole time if I could just cut her open and do some welding and put some stuff together and sew her back up, I'd be good. But I felt totally useless because I couldn't fix her, which in turn put me in a dark place. So Easterseals Veterans Employment Program helped me get back on track and get me hired at my new job. They gave me some gas cards so I could get to and from work for the first couple weeks until I got a paycheck. So I work at a place that repairs tractor trailers, the actual trailers. They bought me some new boots, safety shoes. They bought me some work gloves, and I went to work. My family's actually doing a lot better. My wife's in remission. She's been in remission since 2023. My kids are growing like wildfire. You know, it's just a good feeling that I'm actually providing for my family now where I couldn't a few years ago. When I first got in contact with Easterseals, they seemed like they genuinely cared the outcome of where I was going. And once I started the job, they actually came through and helped me out. So it's very rare in this life we live today that anybody genuinely cares for you or cares about your outcome, where Easterseals did.
Let's welcome the chair of the Easterseals board, Julie Statland.
Good evening, everyone. It's an honor to stand before you tonight. This evening is about advocacy and leadership and impact, but above all, it's about people. At the heart of Easterseals is a mission that comes alive through the dedication of our staff, people who show up every day with expertise, patience, and an unwavering belief in the potential of every individual we serve. Our team, staff members, are educators, therapists, caregivers, advocates, and administrators. No matter their role, they carry with them the trust of the people whom Easterseals serves. Tonight, I have the privilege of honoring a staff member who embodies the Easterseals mission every single day. And before I read this to you, I just want to say from a personal perspective, and I'll say it again at the end, but 40 people were nominated from the Easterseals staff for this award. That means not just leadership, that means their peers have so much respect for them that they took the time to nominate them for this award. And that to me says everything about the people in this organization. The Easterseals Robert S. Wilson Leadership Award honors an individual who leads by example, someone whose professionalism inspires trust and whose commitment to the people we serve reflects the very best of Easterseals. We had over 40 nominations for the award this year, and we can all assure you that you would have been inspired by each and every one. The work they do is magnificent. And if you've never visited the Intergenerational Center, which you're getting a sample of outside, you get to see the people in action, and it's what got me on the board, just watching them work. We had to narrow it down, and so there's only 3 finalists here tonight, and I'm gonna tell you a little bit about them. Nicholas Feemster, Partnerships and Outreach Manager with our Homeless Veterans Reintegration Program. Nico has been instrumental in strengthening and reimagining key programs, initiatives to better meet the evolving needs of the veterans we serve. He's been the catalyst behind a series of videos that help veterans understand the transition from military to civilian careers. Nico also led the redesign of a long-standing webinar series into a genuine virtual community that has increased support for younger veterans, who make up 80% of the homeless veteran population. The next nominee is Hope Ivy. Hope Ivy is the inclusion specialist for our Head Start and Early Head Start program. She's been a dedicated member of the Easterseals early education staff since 2019. Hope is using her expertise to support children with disabilities and forge new community relationships. In fact, Hope recently advocated for one child who is nonverbal. ensuring that the family is fully trained on technologies that help their child communicate. As a result, the child is now better able to express themselves in both family members and teachers. Our third final nominee is Michelle Peters, Accounting Operations Specialist in the Finance Department. She has the remarkable quality and ability to explain and troubleshoot and ensure accuracy of the most complex financial issues, and we're told all with grace. It's not unusual for Michelle to be working late to ensure that the lights literally stay on at every one of our program centers. Her reliability is part of strengthening the efficiency of Easterseals' financial operations and accounts payable department. So drum roll, please. It is my honor to present the Robert S. Wilson Leadership Award to Nicholas Feemster.
Easterseals' vision is to create a hopeful, inclusive community where all people realize their potential and live meaningful lives. And supporters like Bank of America, who help make sure that we can help support the full array of needs of people in our community, are incredibly important. Not only are they donors, but they also bring their talents to the organization and help us make connections to other nonprofits so that we can make sure that we can serve everyone in our community effectively.
Bank of America has been operating in the Washington, D.C. area since 1814. So we've got deep roots in the community. We have 2,400 teammates here in the DMV who are out every day serving clients and serving the community. And our view is when the community is thriving and succeeding and we're creating opportunity and prosperity, then that's going to be great for our clients and therefore it's going to be great for us.
Bank of America leads by example. They have tremendous impact on our community in a wide variety of ways. And I've seen that firsthand across many different communities, whether it's N Street Village and the homeless, through Easterseals and the veterans and military programs, to the Economic Club of Washington and our scholarship program that impacts 250 young people every year. The organization has had incredible impact.
Last year, we averaged 10 hours of volunteer time for every employee in the market, and some people obviously do much more than that. The team is very committed to success of the community.
It's extraordinarily important for corporations to invest in their communities, and the best way to do that is through philanthropy. When I think about Bank of America, it's one of those organizations that really shows up and cares. When I'm out in the nonprofit community and I'm thinking about how we as a community can make a difference in Washington, I often think about Bank of America, the impact that they've had in the community, and how they are present and they care.
Bank of America is highly aligned to Easterseals' military objectives. We hired, over the last several years, nearly 20,000 military family members, spouses, etc. And we're on a commitment to do another 10,000 in the next 5 years. So our alignment to many of the same priorities of Easterseals matches up very nicely.
I'm thrilled today that Bank of America and Larry Rita are being presented with the Corporate Advocate Award. It's truly inspiring, and congratulations.
Easterseals loves working with Bank of America. They are wonderful partners, not just providing funding, but also other forms of support. Their support extends beyond just Easterseals, but really to the entire Washington community, and that's why we were so proud to recognize them.
Please welcome Advocacy Awards honorary co-chairs, Admiral Michael Gilday and Linda Gilday to present the Corporate Advocate Award to Bank of America's Larry DeRita. Please welcome to the stage Easterseals Senior Vice President of Development, James Smith.
Good evening, everyone. I have the privilege of every day seeing firsthand what happens when generosity like Bank of America's and the Reedys meets purpose and when commitment turns into real lasting impact. Let me tell you a story about 4-year-old Cain. Cain was 18 months old when his mom, Jasmine, noticed some speech and cognitive delays, and Cain received a diagnosis of autism. 2 years later, when Cain still was in diapers and not yet verbal, child care centers said they simply couldn't meet Cain's needs. That put Jasmine, a single working mother, in a very difficult situation. Then a spot opened at an Easterseals Child Development Center where teachers are trained to receive specialized people just like Cain. Now he is learning and thriving in the same classroom with his typically developing peers. Jasmine rests safe at work every day knowing that her only son is loved every day. Stories like Cain's and events like tonight are so special because they remind us that none of this happens alone. So many individuals and families in our communities need Easterseals services desperately. And it's our mission to do whatever it takes to provide that life-changing support and inclusivity for any child or adult who needs us. Let's see one more example of this story. I'm sure you'll agree with me after viewing the video. It's nothing short of a miracle.
I am Miracle's granddad, and I take care of her. My daughter's not able to do it, so I do it for her. She came into the world and had to have open heart surgery right off the back. So she stayed in Children's Hospital for about 7 months. There was things that had to be done or she would not be here right now. She eats from her stomach, which is called a G tube. It's a tube that goes through a machine that goes through her stomach. My life changed dramatically. I mean, I'm 65 years old. I never thought I'd be doing this all over again. But these are my grandkids. I mean, you do everything you can for them. When she was first born, I couldn't work at all. There was no way. When her heart conditioned then, the things that I had to do with Miracle, I used to go to food banks and had to make sure that the baby had formula, and diapers was really hard at that time. Even clothes issue. If it weren't for Easterseals, I don't know where I would be. And most of the daycares were not equipped to handle a baby with heart condition and eating from her stomach. They didn't have the training, so I was turned away really quick on that part. When I came into this facility, I didn't think they were gonna take Miracle either. When I first got here, they were like, we're gonna do it. So they took it upon themselves in that to become nurses instead of daycare workers, and I never looked backwards. It's been like a dream come true as far as Miracle's concerned.
I hate to say this, but some families are used to hearing the word no. Here at Easterseals, we are not afraid. We're open to meeting children where they are. We work closely with them. We can get them in our program so that they can have that same experience as every other child.
Miracle knows when she gets here. She knows this is her second home, that she's gonna be in good hands. She's safe here. I feel safe. They have turned into my family. They do things in that most daycares don't do. I love her with all their heart. And I think they do it with every kid there. I've seen them in action. You could bring your child here as early as 7:30 a.m. in the morning and pick her back up at 6 o'clock. That allowed me to get back on track as far as working. Easterseals changed everything for me.
We don't want to turn anyone away. It's super important that we can make a space for every child. Our goal is to always say yes. The financial support from the community will allow us to hire additional teachers on, as well as to provide more training for those teachers so that we continue on the great work that we do here at Easterseals.
Miracle Wynn is doing great these days. She's trying to walk, she's talking, she's doing some of the things. She's the late development. She's catching up. She's really catching up now. She is a fighter. She definitely fits the name Miracle because she is a miracle baby.
What an incredible story. I know Miracle's story touched all of our hearts, but I hope it made you realize something else as well. Robert was unable to work until caring for her at Easterseals. Easterseals allowed him to return to the workforce. And remember Dylan in our first video? She also was able to work with her son while her son is at Easterseals. Affordable childcare for many of the parents that we serve, it really is not a luxury. It is a necessity to help them keep roofs over their families' heads. Easterseals provides children with the early education they need for a brighter tomorrow, while ensuring their parents can have a brighter today. And this is possible only when compassion is matched with action. So now here we are at a moment that allows every single person in this room to be a part of that impact. Tonight is about building an inclusive world together, a world in which individuals with disabilities are seen, supported, and empowered, a world in which families don't navigate challenges alone and opportunity is not limited by circumstance, a world in which we break the cycle of intergenerational poverty through educational opportunity. Every gift made tonight directly supports Easterseals programs and services, whether it's education, therapy, adult day services, job coaching, and so much more. What matters most is not the size of the gift, it's the connection behind it. Because when everyone in this room gives what they can collectively, we create something extraordinary. You remember what Miles said, and he and Mary Beth have also pledged to match the first $50,000 of donations received tonight. So let's not disappoint him. That match will help us to reach our immediate crisis tonight. Our goal that we've set for ourselves is $100,000. It's a big number, but with the Reedys, we can get us halfway there if together we can raise the other half. And we've made giving very easy for tonight. The QR code is on the screen, it's in your program, and all around the reception area. And if you're not able to give financially tonight, you still belong in this moment with us. Your time matters. Your voice matters. Your presence matters. We invite you to volunteer. Come visit one of our Easterseals centers. See firsthand how your support actually changes lives. Connection is everything. It's what brings us together tonight. When we invest in connection, no one has to walk this journey alone. No one knows the power of forging those connections better than our final award recipients. The Lundays are a powerful example of using your visibility and your voice to be an advocate for those who need help. We are honored that Senator Elizabeth Dole, the guiding force behind the Elizabeth Dole Foundation and a member of our honorary board, has allowed us to name this award to recognize her lifetime of support and service and that of her late husband, Senator Robert Dole. He, of course, was a lifelong advocate for veterans and people with disabilities and was instrumental in enacting the American with Disabilities Act. Let's see how Admiral and Mrs. Lunday are continuing that legacy.
I've known of the Lundays and especially their impact on Easterseals for decades now. The fact of the matter is that everyone I've known around this organization that does such great work has been influenced by and supported by great leaders like the Lundays, and it is something that I'm really grateful for.
It is so critical to have leaders like the Lundays in the Easterseals family because they are the ones who show and demonstrate through their leadership that it's okay for military families and service members to ask for help. And the Lundays have been absolutely critical leaders in doing that along with Easterseals leadership in our community.
From the minute you walk into Easterseals, you feel welcome. And then you get up to the Cohen Clinic. They support families, they do couples, they do individuals. It's the magic of the whole Easterseals program.
When people as prominent as the Lundays get involved in an organization like Easterseals and the Cohen Clinic, it helps people realize that it may not be such a bad thing to reach out and get help if you need it and not be embarrassed to do so. I know from personal experience how wonderful the Cohen Clinic is. Touring the facility, you realize that it is a family.
Well, one of the things that I really admire about Easterseals is their very high standards of excellence and their commitment to serving others and caring for those in need. And so when we see an organization like Easterseals that is so dedicated to taking care of our service members and their families and our veterans, in caring for them and providing them the services and support they need the most, especially when they need it the most. That's really heartwarming, and to know that Easterseals is there when we need it.
The need for mental health care has probably never been higher, and unfortunately, there is a stigma attached with seeking that help. The Lundays, their commitment to Easterseals and to the military community as a whole has been exemplary. The benefit of having their involvement can't be overstated. When people like them get involved, it makes people sit up and take notice. We need more people like the Lundays.
The Lundays are an inspiring couple, both in terms of their own achievements and their own focus over the years, but also in terms of that which they enable others to do. We have benefited from that here at Easterseals, make no mistake. That's why I'm so glad that we can be here tonight.
The Easterseals program saves lives. They help people navigate the most difficult storms of life and persevere and make it through. That's just remarkable.
This honor is huge. It really means the world to us. But again, we want to thank all of the people who work at Easterseals. It is you showing up every day, being there for our families and for our loved ones, to give them encouragement and empower them to know that there's nothing they can't do. So thank you for this incredible honor. And we will do our best to continue to represent.
Semper Paratus.
Semper Paratus.
Please welcome Admiral Kevin Lunday and LyndaLee Lunday, and to present the award, Larry Rita of Bank of America.
I would like to invite LyndaLee to say a few words on our behalf.
Tonight we celebrate being advocates for our military families. Thank you to Senators Elizabeth and Robert Dole for being advocates and working tirelessly for our nation for all those years. As you saw in our video, we're incredibly humbled and honored to receive this award tonight on behalf of our families. As an advocate and an ombudsman at large for our Coast Guard, I must advocate tonight. For 75 days, our United States Coast Guard has been unfunded. Our active duty civilians and families are enduring unnecessary hardships. This shutdown has caused significant financial, mental health, and physical health crises. Not knowing if they will be paid from week to week has exponentially impacted the readiness of our service members who protect and defend our country here and abroad. The United States Coast Guard has men and women in harm's way every day, protecting our homeland and saving lives. Our families are taking out loans and racking up massive credit card debts, having to pay for their transfers as they move to their next duty station. We have many members and civilian families needing local food pantries just to survive. We now have military facilities that are having power and water shut off. We have members in government housing who also have had or continue to be threatened to have their utilities cut off. This must end. We need advocacy that no branch of the military or any critical service, such as Easterseals, ever be subject to a shutdown again. I want to thank you for allowing me to speak on this because I needed to advocate for our families, but I can't end on that because Easterseals is near and dear to my heart. I've worked for Easterseals as a therapist, and I've been an ambassador for, I think, about 10 years. Easterseals and the Cohen Clinic are essential, and they provide much-needed high-quality care for our military members and their families from infants to adults. The true dedication of all who work for Easterseals and the Cohen Clinic, they demonstrate the best, and they fulfill their missions every single day. May God bless all of those who work for Easterseals and the Cohen Veteran Centers, and may God bless our great country and all who serve, protect, and defend our nation. Thank you.
Congratulations to Admiral and LyndaLee Lunday, Bank of America, and Miles and Mary Beth Reidy. So much of what we deliver every day at Easterseals and the broader community impact is thanks to their unwavering support, but also to the contributions from all of you. I also must again thank Marta, Raj, Amayas, and the entire Advocacy Awards Committee. I'm ecstatic to share that so far tonight, we've raised $58,000 in addition to Miles and Mary Beth's $50,000 pledge, and that puts us over $1.25 million for the event this year that will all support the families who really need us. And it's not too late. I will just say again that you heard from Miles that Easterseals is a great investment. And, Lawrence, a 46-year-old Army veteran, had what many would consider the American dream, a steady career, a family, and a promising future. Then a series of personal and legal challenges changed everything, and Lawrence went through a divorce and 2 periods of incarceration. When he was released, Lawrence was determined to rebuild his life, but even with his education and experience, he faced repeated rejection. He noted that even places that hire people with backgrounds like his wouldn't give me a chance. His real chance came when he was referred to Easterseals Veterans Employment Programs. His employment specialist helped Lawrence get new clothes to ensure he could interview for jobs with confidence. We supported him with a new certification to boost his credentials. And perhaps most important, Easterseals and his career coach really helped him see his own worth. And before too long, Lawrence was offered a great position, and that has enabled him to have stable housing and, most importantly, regain his hope. He said, "It's been a long road, but things are finally turning around." Helping people like Lawrence overcome barriers to well-being is why Easterseals exists. It's what drives our staff, like Nico, to serve the thousands of people in the area who need us. But we can't do it without you.
And please, don't forget about the Reidy's generous match offer. That contribution, your contribution, will help us reach more people like Lawrence, Paul, Miracle, Kane, and so many others. And before you leave here tonight, remember to check out the Easterseals stations around the reception area if you haven't done so already. Spend a few moments writing a note to a veteran or learning more about our adult day services. And please pass along all of the information to others in your community so they know that Easterseals is here to support them. Thank you again. More food is now being served, so enjoy dinner and networking, and dessert will be coming a little later. Have a wonderful rest of your evening.